Hello, my sweet friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, I am doing all of your postpartum must-haves as well as things that you do not want to forget in your hospital bag. So I'm kind of combining these two things together. I had my baby almost 4 months ago, and I've really reflected on my experience in labor. I will list some of my other pregnancy, labor, birth story videos down below. And welcome, I am MarissaLace. I create content all around self-love, spirituality, and just tapping into your inner goddess to create your dream life, creating a life you love, becoming someone you love. And now all about spiritual hot mom shit. So we are here and we are doing it. I cannot believe that I actually have had a baby. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe. But we are whipping this out because it is nap time. So we are getting this video out for you guys. So jumping right the hell into it. Look at my postpartum caddy. Yeah, she's here. She's cute. She's cute. She was $19.99, okay? Cute and on a budget, you know what I mean? So this is what I had hung in my bathroom. I showed this on Instagram and TikTok a couple times. MarissaLace, if you don't follow me, and spiritual hot mom shit. So I want to jump right in because all this stuff down here, I will say I went overboard with the postpartum care. And I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to tell you guys what I actually used versus what I had. Because I used all of this a couple times, but I definitely did not need it in the way that I thought I would. Everyone had me terrified of postpartum. Terrified. I was scared from my first poop. I was scared of walking. I was scared of literally like just being like swollen down there. I was terrified. I was like, who is she gonna be anymore? I don't know that kitty cat. She's not mine. But she's still mine. She came back better than ever. So I want to point out that everyone talks about when you go to the hospital, they're gonna have everything there. You don't need to bring that. That's absolutely bullshit. I don't know which hospital you went to, but mine brought near none to the table. So when I went to the hospital, all that they had were the mesh panties and the big pads. We all hear about those, right? And of course they gave me this little water peri bottle. You use this and spray it when you're peeing, so that way any like open cuts or stitches that you have, hate to tell you, when you pee, you know, it'll sting a little bit. It's nothing. People had me scared about that. It's nothing. I barely had to use that thing. These are the Frida Mom Ice Pads packs. So you crack these and shake them and they get really cold. People told me my hospital would have these. They did not. So I'm very glad I had those. These, okay, so these are the Frida Mom Perennial, no, I always say that wrong. Anywho, you know what I'm saying. Cooling pad liners. These are essentially a better version of the Tux pads. I preferred these over the Tux pads 1000%. They're bigger, they stayed moist longer, and they covered your whole kitty cat down there. So what I would do is let's move on to the big daddy. What I could tell you to get over anything in this video is the always diapers. So these are high-waisted. So whether you have a C-section, whether you have a vaginal delivery, these are phenomenal. Instead of having the pads, I really liked the diapers. I would even put the Frida Mom Instant Ice Maxi Pads in this. So I would put the pad down, I would put one of the Frida Mom liners on it, and then I would use the Frida Mom Perennial Healing Foam. This stuff is amazing. I know that Frida Mom like seems very gimmicky. There's like a million products, seems a little overpriced. I cannot tell you how much like I could have just done one box of each and been Gucci golden. So put the Frida Mom, like they have like a whole hospital kit. It's like $100. Put it on your registry. Maybe someone will like you enough to buy it. And the always diapers. I preferred these over just the like putting pads in my underwear, the really big pads, because whether you are bleeding a lot or you're having very light bleeding, these work. And I only had heavy bleeding, I think, for maybe a day or two, and then it went to very, you know, just kind of like a medium normal period very quickly. What I have not seen, I've seen people talk about like your body odor during postpartum, but a lot of people don't talk about the amount of blood that you are passing after you have a baby is very strong. And my doctor said that it could just be you who smells it more because it doesn't smell bad. It's not like, oh, that kind of smell where you're like self-conscious, but it's more just like, it smells, it's a lot of blood. It has a scent to it. So what I did, and I've never seen anyone talk about these, but they have these diaper bags, right? So they make these scented diaper bags that you put your dirty diapers in and then put them in the pail, like a diaper genie sort of thing. I started putting my diapers in there and my pads in there, and it helped a lot because I don't know if it's just like kind of in pregnancy, you know, when your senses are a little bit more. I swear postpartum is, if not even more. So having this was very helpful. I even sent my partner back to our house. I think it was day 2. Once we realized we were going to be in the hospital for a couple extra days, he went to the house to go get more things. And these were some things that I brought. Everything in here is what I had him bring to the hospital. So I had the Always diapers, I had the Frida Mom ice pads, the liners, and the foam. This, I also did have the Frida Mom like Perry bottle, but I will say you don't need to buy that. This is perfectly fine, so save yourself money there. And the ice pads, I really prefer them. I did make some frozen ones myself, but these are cooling and not so cold and like shocking. I know a lot of people suggest the Dermaplast spray, but this perennial healing foam is very like calming and cooling, and like hydrating is a very weird word to use, but it really helps the downstairs area. It wasn't until day probably like 6 or 7 that you started to get like itchy, like your stitches might get a little itchy and you just might feel more dry than normal down there. And that healing foam was amazing for that. The next thing for postpartum is nobody really talks about your boobs postpartum. And I want to talk about it because I think it would have really helped my breastfeeding journey, my nursing journey, my pumping journey. If you have never looked into exclusive pumping, look into it. I didn't know about it until after I had a baby, and I wish it was something that I would have known about. So exclusive pumping is just that. You are exclusively pumping for your baby, and your baby can be bottle fed, and you know, your partner can help with night feedings, your family can help, your friends can help, whoever you have part of your support team. And I bring it up not to say don't nurse or don't use formula. Fed is best here. I support everyone. We what's that word? We do both, like breast milk and formula. I'm trying to get my supply up to, you know, incorporate more breast milk into her diet, but I wish that I knew more about formula, and I wish that I knew more about exclusively pumping before I had my baby. So I didn't get a pump before I had my baby. I got one of the LV pumps just to have just in case, and my plan was always to exclusively nurse. Just think that that would come really easy. So if I have any tips, it is to look into exclusive pumping and knowing that postpartum, your boobs are going to, it's a whole level. Like think about sore boobs on your period times 10. Your boobs get huge. It's called engorgement. Not everyone gets it, but it is very common. And when you are in the hospital, or if you are just now, you know, in this postpartum phase, look up self-expression. Self-expressing your boobs, you're basically pulling your breast back and squeezing in, and you are helping your body express that milk. You are helping the milk come out, which helps create more milk. And something I would do when I first got home from the hospital to really help my boobs is I would go in the bathtub, I would get hot washcloths, and I would just place them on my boobs. And then I would let them sit for a little bit, and I would take, you know, this is something like a motif collection cup, but I would take these little vials that they gave us at the hospital for collecting our colostrum, which is what your boobs first have, the really, you know, thick yellow stuff, and you want to collect as much of that as possible that you're not giving to baby. And in the bath, when my boobs would feel really sore and baby would be sleeping, I would squeeze my boobs into the cup and collect that. I don't see enough people talking about saving your colostrum. We have used my colostrum since we've had Lila these past 4 months, when she was sick, when she wasn't feeling well, things like that. It really helped her bounce back. And I just wanted to tell you guys about it because I didn't really hear a whole lot about it. My ear is like ringing. Thanks, Spirit, I hear you. So collecting milk, learning how to self-express, looking into pumping. I have the Motif Luna pump, and it's really amazing. I love it. I love that I can unplug it and kind of walk around with it. It is seriously phenomenal. Some of the best and like cutest nursing bras and pumping bras, they are nursing and pumping bras, are by the Dairy Fairy. And then also with that, let me grab this for you guys because I do want to show you. I'm actually still wearing them. I love them that much. These are the, what's the brand? Auden nursing bras. So honestly, I have so many of these. I did not realize just how much your boobs would be going through a lot in this process. So I bought some of these, size up. I had no idea how big my boobs would get after baby came. Of course, my boobs were very large during pregnancy, but I had no idea what was going to happen once baby came. And also with that self-expression with pumping, you're really encouraging your milk to come in. And when you're in the hospital, if you are pregnant watching this, ask your nurses about exclusively pumping. Ask them if you can use the hospital grade pump. I think that, you know, there's a lot of things that I would have done differently. So if you guys want to see a video about everything I would have done differently or everything I will do differently if we choose to have a second baby, let me know and I can film that. But my next tip to bring to the hospital, I think is going to be a little like throw some people off, but bring a cute, comfy outfit. Bring a cute, comfy outfit. It takes just as much effort to wear like sweatpants that don't match as sweatpants that do match. And I felt so good. It's like that shower after the hospital, you feel like a new woman. And then to put on clothes that feel good, but then like to feel a little bit put together, it felt so nice. So this is just a set that I got from like TJ Maxx. It was $25, comes with a full robe, a top, and high-waisted sweatpants. I loved it. It was so comfortable. And I felt good taking photos and memories like with my partner, with baby. And just like, you want to feel good in those moments. It's, you know, as a mom, I realized that so often we're taking photos of other people, other situations. And then I would find myself not wanting to be on camera, not feeling like cute. And it's okay. We literally just like, our body practically split open. So I will take any cute moments I can get. But definitely having like pajamas and a cute outfit that is comfortable for you, and having outfits at home that are going to feel comfortable for you. I was in matching sets nonstop. I still am, and I swear by them. I wore matching sets pretty much the whole end of my pregnancy if I wasn't wearing big dresses. And then my next tip for the hospital that saved me was a big robe. So I'll link my favorite robe down below if I can find it. I know that Skims makes like a robe that was very similar. But I bought like an XXL robe to use as a blanket and to use in the hospital just so I could do skin to skin super easily with baby. I also wore that thing postpartum every single day. Again, easy nursing, easy skin to skin with baby. And if I could give myself another tip, maybe is like more skin to skin. I remember when we were in the hospital and when we got home especially, I was so nervous. I was so nervous in the sense of like, your baby is so small and they're so fragile and cute and beautiful, and you just don't want to like disturb them or hurt them or anything. And I just wish that I would have like loved on my baby more, if that sounds pretty bad. Like, of course I was loving my baby, but I was so focused on doing everything right, of swaddling her correctly, trying to look for hunger cues, trying to do all these things that, you know, I was very much in my own head. I was so in my own head of not wanting to mess up, not wanting to miss anything. You know, latching was pretty difficult for us. So I was, you know, overthinking so many things that there's just so many things I would do differently in a very supportive way of just like myself, of knowing this situation better. So again, if you guys want to hear or see that video, I would love to support you and do that. And then something that we brought to the hospital that I really loved was our Polaroid camera. And I have not used this thing more than when we have had our sweet baby Lace. So we use this a ton in the hospital. We use it a ton, like at least 2 or 3 times a week, of just sweet moments, wanting to capture them. And you know, it's beautiful to have photos in our phone and on our camera, like our real digital cameras. Let's be real, they're all on our fucking phones, but it is just so sweet to have these like real photos and these real moments. It just is this next level of just like, just really capturing a moment of, you can't just retake it. It's like, I don't know, it's so special and so sweet, and I really recommend it. I loved it. I also brought my UGG slippers to labor. I was not wearing socks pretty much the whole time. Even in labor, postpartum, at home, I was just in my robe and my slippers pretty much the whole time. In active labor, I was in my hospital gown. I did bring my own hospital gown, and when I tell you that I was in so much pain, I forgot that I even had a hospital gown. I was trying to rip wires off of me. I was like, it was a moment. I will leave my birth story, my birth vlog down below again, but if I could just tell you guys that postpartum, leave space for it being easy. And I was so worried, I was so stressed, and it was, my body can handle anything is what I have learned. Our bodies can handle anything. Women are freaking superheroes. We can do amazing things. And I just wanted to create this video for you guys to not only share products that I loved, but just let you know that you're gonna get through it, and don't fear it. Don't be overwhelmed, and know that you're gonna do amazing. You are going to do amazing. So those are some of my postpartum favorites, including for the hospital, having cozy outfits. I shared too that I went to Sephora and I just got the little travel, like Tatcha skincare sets. I think it was maybe like 20 bucks maximum for a face wash and a good moisturizer, and just like feeling like, God, it was like luxurious. I had just had a baby. I showered. I had like a nice organic bamboo loofah for like $2.99 that I got from TJ Maxx, but it just felt like the best shower of my life. I brought my own little mini Caress soap, which is not good for your skin at all, but the smell was heavenly, and I needed any and every serotonin hit that I could get, because also, you're gonna feel high after labor. The oxytocin is absolutely insane. There's a lot of things going on in your body, but anything that you can do to make yourself feel good and loved and honored, and just to feel like a goddess after labor, do it. Just do it. Spend the extra couple bucks on nice travel skincare and bring it in your hospital bag. We just like, it was just so nice. I can't even like put it into words, because I had all these fears and almost like negative expectations for postpartum. And I was really worried. I was worried about, you know, everyone talks about when the nurses push on your stomach and, you know, did it hurt? Yeah, kind of, but nothing compared to what the fuck I just did in that labor and delivery room. And then you have your baby, and, you know, my biggest fear in this life is needles. I'm terrified of needles, like shots, piercings, all the things, drawing blood, IVs, the IV in your hand. Super worried about that. Absolutely nothing compared to contractions and my epidural. So, I was going to say that all these things that I had a lot of fear around, you're going to do them, and it's going to be great, and you're going to forget about it the moment your baby comes. And I always heard people say that, and I would basically in my head tell them to like shut up. So I know that's annoying to hear, but I promise that it will happen. But your feelings and your fears are valid. Your feelings and your fears are valid, because until you experience it, the fear and the feeling is what's overtaking. But the example that I was sharing is that one of my biggest fears in this life, besides sharks, is needles. It's terrifying to me. And the morning after we had sweet baby Lace, you know, they came in to do the whole stomach pushing thing, and they needed to draw my blood. I was holding that baby with one hand, just staring at her and handing him my arm as if it was no big deal. I didn't flinch, nothing. Just put it, what's up? That's nothing. Went to the dentist for the first time in 13 years. I was all confident all of a sudden. All these fears around pain. I'm like, what's up? I had a baby. I got this. What's up? So yes, I'm gonna have a list of my favorite products down below. And you might be thinking, Marissa, this is not a lot of items. And yeah, if I could tell my past self anything for preparing for baby, preparing for postpartum, is you don't need a lot. You do not need a lot. And that's coming from someone, I bought the snoo, I bought the LV, I had all these different, you know, all the gadgets, all the things. And all that my baby wants is just to be held. She wants to be cuddled, she wants kisses, she wants to be talked to. She doesn't like the TV on. She just wants to talk. She wants to hang out. And even, you know, those first couple weeks home, all that your baby needs is a Velcro swaddle, some good Pacis if that's, you know, what you like. We like the ma'am Pacis. If you're looking for bottles, we love the ma'am bottles as well as the Avent bottles, A-V-E-N-T. Velcro swaddles again, and just cuddles and love. And if you can, take those first couple weeks and just stay in bed. Stay in bed, do skin to skin, cuddle your baby, turn your phone off, and soak it all in, because it goes by so fast. So fast. But now that I'm all emotional, I want to go cuddle my babies. I love y'all to pieces. Thank you so much for being in this video with me and sitting in this sweet, sweet, divine, feminine, sacred space. So I love you all deeply. Do not forget to follow the Spiritual Hot Mom Shit Instagram, the MarissaLace Instagram, and there's so much goodness to come in 2022. So let me know what motherhood videos you guys want to see, how I can support you this year, and I love you deeply.